Hello, gorgeous soul. Welcome to Susie's Enchanted Crossroads. I'm Susie, and this podcast helps you navigate your journey through the crossroads by taking a deeper look into witchcraft and spirituality. So settle in, grab your beverage of choice, and let's get this episode going. Hey, gorgeous soul. It's okay. You can come out now. Come on. We're good. How are you faring out there after this lunar eclipse in Pisces, this supercharged moon? How are y'all doing? Yeah, so this is this is the day after the eclipse. And I've been asking everyone out in my socials and um just like how are y'all doing? How are y'all holding up? You okay? Because I'm hearing a lot. And for myself, I was actually feeling pretty good. So I'm knocking on that wood there. However, I did feel a lot of that shadow work, peep, like just like here's Johnny kind of thing. Like you're gonna get this shadow work done, and we're gonna go through it. And kind of assess what's happening. So this is gonna be a nice and easy episode. I mean, I think my podcast is pretty nice and easy, in my humble opinion. Um, but we're just gonna sit and chit chat a little bit about this supercharged lunar eclipse. As it is, you all had a lot on your plate, and let's go ahead and help you with that. Let's start breaking things down. So before we go on any further, hopefully you have a beverage of choice around you. And if you haven't had your water yet, let's go ahead and just take a brief little pause and let's have a sip of water. And if you need to pause this, pause it. So I've got my water right here and I'm going to take a quick drink. I feel like the new things that are coming in are for me to do are popping in on your social and basically saying, have you had your water today? Have you taken a breath today? Have you eaten today? Have you had someone to talk to today? And that's just coming in. So I'm gonna write that down. And socials, water break, water and breath break at least. You are listening to this in real time as I am not going to edit this. This is gold. This is what you came here for. Okay, so let's take and I had talked about eclipses. But this one was a lunar eclipse, and the last one we discussed was a solar eclipse. It was all the rage because we were able to see it here in the States. And Mercury retrograde, so we were getting a big old doozy, you know what I mean? But these lunar eclipses aren't any easier. But one thing that we can generally count on with these eclipses is that they're the direction that they're gonna put you in, it's gonna guide you. Okay. It's gonna bring things into your life where it is the universe's plan. Things are gonna come into divine timing. Um, it may feel like a tower moment. So if you read tarot, there's a tower card where it just feels like everything's crumbling around you in chaos and heightened emotions. And you're just like, basically, what the fuck? You're flying at the seat of your pants, like on a gosh awful roller coaster that you feel like you're gonna fly out because you're not buckled in safely. It's just a lot of ups and downs. And the thing is that it just like a roller coaster ride, or maybe one of those rides that kind of spin you, make you a little dizzy. You can't really see what's in front of you because it's like in front of you and then gone, and you're feeling this first it's like, you're all excited, like, "Ooh, here we come. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. I can handle it." And then all of a sudden it's like, "Fuck. Okay, we're doing this. We're doing this. We're doing this." Okay. And And then it's like, what was I thinking? And then just a lot of things start happening. And this is when you start reflecting, right? When you're either starting that ride, your heart's going a million miles an hour, the adrenaline is pumping, or when you feel that tick, 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 tick as the cart, right, goes up. If we're riding a roller coaster, right? I don't ride roller coasters, I despise them. And you get to the top, and that's when you're really starting to like, it's like your life flashes before your eyes with certain events or things are coming up for you. And then it's like, wow, this is the reflection time of your life, right? And sometimes we need to let it go, let go of that imposter syndrome, let go of the fear, let go of the ego. And this is when we're starting to embrace and we need to move on from. Sometimes we got to hold our breath and go for it. So, depending on when you're hearing this, right now I'm talking about the eclipse. It was a partial lunar eclipse and it was happening September 18th, 17th into the 18th, 2024. And when this happens, we want to kind of look back. So we would want to like think about 2023 and really take note. So if you are barely starting your journey or you're listening to this and you're like, damn it, I wish I would have known that sooner. That's my bad. Um, but I'm also not a hardcore astrologer. I will have one on the show though, spoiler alert. But for now, as you are coming out of this lunar eclipse, start journaling things or start writing it down. Take voice memo. Do note it. What you felt like when, when this eclipse was creeping up. What happened? What were your feelings like? What happened? What phone calls or texts did you get during? Did you do any ritual work? Did you take a bath? Did you cuss out, the neighbor that's always like peeping in your window kind of shit? You know what I mean? Are you setting hard boundaries? Did you break away from a toxic habit, whatever it is, just jot it down. And today, as it's the next day, how are you feeling? How did you sleep? How are those dreams? How did you wake up? So last night, well, no, not last night. So Monday evening, as I was going to bed, I was very wired. I was good to go. I called in sick. I said, fuck it. Like I hung out with the girls and nothing crazy. We saw a movie and we got a pedicure. And literally, that's all we did. Self-care, but needed the mental break. Went to bed, not too late, and I was dreaming very vividly. So I would love to hear what kind of dreams you were having. Um, and then my alarm was going off, and I was so pissed. I was like, why the fuck is my alarm going off? I had no idea what day it was. Obviously, I didn't know what time it was. I knew it was early because I wake up early for work. But I was like, I thought it was either a weekend. I had no idea. I probably wouldn't even been able to tell you what year it was because I was like, why is my alarm going off? And it took me a few moments, y'all. It took me a few moments to realize, oh shit, I gotta go to work. Today's Tuesday. Like, what? Why? What? That's how deep I was astral fucking projecting and traveling. So tonight, I'm taking my astral projection oil. I create oil, so hit me up. I need to make sure I'm well protected because this shit's about to get really real really quick, right? And so got ready for work and I just felt like so groggy. Other people around me were feeling very intense emotions, really over it, setting boundaries, talking to people that are important in their lives. Um, and I know the mutable signs I had read on TikTok are the ones getting hit the hardest. Either way, just writing it down on what's happening in your life, your emotions, who said what, it's going to help you when the next couple of eclipses come creeping back in and you can go back and reflect. Maybe just if sounds cool to you and you haven't started anywhere in your practice, you're like, I can do this. I can do an eclipse little journal 4 times a year, however many eclipses we end up having. But just to kind of really see if there's an arc in your progression through the years, through the cycles. So I'm just going to come in and say that eclipse do come in pairs in case you weren't aware. So the energy of these eclipses um, have been, these patterns have resetting emotional patterns and with the lunar eclipse, and then they're followed by like the solar eclipses, right? And then resetting energetic patterns, again, depending on um the signs that they're in, but usually, right, there's a culmination of emotions, okay, that need to run their cycles, run its course. You got to get through it. But it also encourages to let go of certain emotions and attachments, especially if you're being treated like a yo-yo, or you yourself are yo-yoing someone along. We are given this opportunity to release what is no longer serving us so that way we can evolve and we can keep going. Because the thing with this is that, and this is exactly why I called my podcast what it is, a lot of times you get stuck at the crossroads, right? It's just, ugh, it's almost like you're stuck. Like, do I go this way or this way? And you want to make the right choice, or you're just not ready to let go. Now, this partial lunar eclipse is a supermoon, which means that the moon is closer to Earth in its orbit. And I'm just going to read this. Lunar eclipses are viewed in astrology as being deeply transformative that can bring abrupt and sudden emotional change. While this is true, there is another side to eclipses that is important to remember. Eclipses are like a cosmic helping hand of the universe. Their energies help to break patterns and bring unresolved emotional issues to the surface. So basically what I said, right? As the shadow of the earth falls across the moon in the lunar eclipse, these are your unconscious feelings that are arising, right? And things that maybe we saw through rose-colored lenses, maybe we're not seeing that anymore. But also with the grain of salt, depending on the sign, some people are just reacting differently to the energy of this lunar eclipse. It's wild. It's that deep emotional tides, right? Because that's what the moon represents. And if it's temporarily stopping the illumination of our emotional being, there's an opportunity to reveal and transform our current emotional states. So, whew, yeah. This energetic cycle of this lunar eclipse that just passed on September 17th, yesterday, will extend for the period of the next 3 months. Okay, so if you're like, damn it, I missed it. No, that's not how that works. It's just like if you were to work with the phases of the moon, let's say the full moon, right? If there wasn't an eclipse, that energy lingers for about 3 days. It just depends. The sign may change, but that full moon energy is still around. We just say, oh, today is the full moon because it's at its peak, or a new moon, or whichever moon that you're working with in the phase. So like I said, this will extend through the next 3 months. So that's the final months of 2024. Can you fucking believe it? I feel like we just started this year. Um, but you're gonna experience this full evolutionary arc, okay? And this completion of this cycle and the after effects going all the way into 2025 with the new eclipse cycles. Okay. So what can we do, Susie? Okay, I fucking missed it, or maybe I grabbed whatever. What can I do? Cool. So, I myself did a bunch of different rituals. I. Let me take a sip of water while I gather this thought. Okay. If you go back to the episodes, You Are the Magic, okay? And you go back to the episodes of grounding and protecting. Okay, how to cast your circle, how to be safe. I say this with all the love, okay? But I'm tired of the fear mongering. Tired of it. Um, your practice is your own. Is this thing on? Your practice is your own. Now, don't come crying when shit blows up in your face if you did not take the necessary precautions, if you didn't do the research, if you just copied someone on TikTok willy-nilly thinking you can do it, if you are stepping out of your lane, like you're tampering with stuff that is a closed practice and such, like that's on you. But if you feel like working with this energy, work with it. See what happens. Maybe you jive with it, and maybe next time you're like, oh, you know what? At least I tried it, but it's not for me. I despise when people are like, you shouldn't work with this, da 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 da, blah blah blah. Okay, tell us why you don't work with it, and then allow me to make my own choices. So where am I getting at with this? I make eclipse water. And yeah, you can say it's chaos magic. You're just doing, it's not safe, blah blah blah. What what do you think I'm doing with it? Yeah, like maybe I need a little chaos magic. Maybe someone it's needs to be put in their place. Maybe I am using that water to help me with my own traumas and my own shadow work. So, I do the moon eclipse water and the solar water as well. I pull cards for myself using this energy. I don't charge my crystals because I don't feel called to charge my crystals in eclipses. But if I were to designate maybe one crystal, like this is going to be my lunar eclipse crystal, and it's going to aid me in I don't know, the trauma that I have with XYZ, then there you go. I'm making notes. That came out. I just saw crystal and I was like, oh shit, that's actually a good idea. I'll do that for next time. I did candle magic, a shit ton of candle magic. Now, my Virgo self already had candles already made, but you can just light a candle for yourself, shedding anything and everything that no longer serves you because you're ready for it to exit. Or maybe you need to bring into light maybe some of your own bullshit. Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. I can hear Cody. But you're stuck in here with me now, dude. Cody can feel that energy as well. Okay, sorry. I don't know if you can hear me talking. I don't know how far this mic can pick up. Um, so it just really depends on your views and what works with you. Maybe you make a simmer pot. Maybe you just take a nice long shower. Maybe you use a scrub just to scrub all the shit off, and maybe that is your ritual for the next 3 months. Each time there's a full moon, you do a full moon scrub. This is a time to embrace the change and honoring of your cycles. Endings are necessary. I know endings suck. Sometimes they suck the big one, but things need to end, y'all. And I'm not saying like, oh, it's the end of like a relationship. No, it's the end of this part of your relationship. So when was the last time, I don't know, you didn't appreciate when your partner would say things to you, and at first it was cutesy and now it's getting under your skin. That stuff needs to end. Okay. Setting your own boundaries. Maybe even realize something within yourself because we can't just be projecting our shit all over everyone. What changes are you also going to make? And this is like just overall, right? But embracing the change and honoring these cycles is a great and necessary thing in order to make new space for yourself. And the eclipse cycle is that final like purging that final like really getting like dusting, like you're really dusting that the the debris and the dust that's been maybe like building up. And we're not just like feather dusting, like we feather dust and then we get the spray and like we really get in there with this like the shine because we need this cleanse of this with this emotional cycle. Something needs to come to an end, and the eclipse can help you set that intention and make it really concrete. And the thing is that one, always be specific, as I've said. Two, you are the magic, right? You are the magician, you are the alchemist. But if you're going to say something to the universe, to your guides, to your higher self, to a deity that you work with, whatever, you best and you're using this eclipse energy, you best believe that you're going to be put to it. You're going to be held accountable for it. So when you start to backtrack or backpedal, you're going to feel it. Because nobody likes to hear empty promises over and over and over again. Have you ever met those people where like they ask you advice and they ask you things and or they just like want and take. Yeah, the universe isn't like that either. When we talk about growth and change and letting go of things that don't serve you, it the big reality is that be ready because change is very uncomfortable. And we fear it, right? Because it is unknown. Humans fear what we don't know, just like the craft, right? It's the devil, it's evil, you're going to hell, you're blah, blah, blah. Because some people don't stop to think what it's about. Hello. Uh, c- Not everyone is a Christian. That was brought to us and forced down our throats. If we look into history, we won't right now, but we will get into that. As human beings, we like to be comfortable, right? We, even through some of our bad habits, we would rather make up an excuse rather than change. Or you try it for a few days, and then once the work starts getting like, okay, well, keep going, and we stop. The real change requires us to really look into these emotions, especially with this lunar eclipse and in Pisces, a water sign, the dreamers. Come on now. What were those dreams, those aspirations that you had? Are they still working for you? Do you need to tweak something? Emotional? Oh, come on. Let's see them emotions. Let's talk about them. And let me tell you, as a Virgo, that's not easy for me. I feel the emotions, but out of everyone I know, it's rare to see me like either cry or get upset because I'm so patient. And for some reason, this is going to be my shadow work. Why do I press it all down? What the fuck? I know that's not healthy. And even when I feel like that tightness, that knot in my throat, it's like gulp. Okay, just breathe through it instead of just, maybe I can just cry through it. So I get it. I get it. When we step into a new way of being, to honoring ourselves, to recognizing ourselves, to get into a new rhythm, it can be hard. It can be challenging. But it all starts with what are you striving for? Write it down. How does it feel? Maybe you make it a wallpaper on your laptop or on your cell phone. Maybe you write it on your manifestation board. When you see it, you'll do it. Um, every single full moon brings a chance to embrace your changes, right? Let go, cultivate a greater connection with the divine, with your higher self, whomever you work with, whatever you believe in. That connection is so precious. We need to be able to be mindful of it, even if it's just looking at the seasons around us. Summer's ending, fall time is coming, shawties, and it's about that time. Notice the changes around you. I'm in the fucking desert. It's rough. I look at my trees, I'm like, are you going dormant or are you sad because you need water and it's fucking 95 degrees today? Yeah, 95 degrees in September. So I understand, but wherever you're at, if you can see the changes, awesome. Even wherever you're at, there has to be something where it triggers like besides obviously the date, or maybe it's just a date. Ah, fall is here. Fall is coming. Even if it's just like tourists coming to Disneyland, I don't know. But something where you can be mindful of the changes coming. Maybe it's just listening to this podcast and listening to me talk. Um, what did I write here? Aspect of your emotional experiences. Okay, so like things you outgrow, which can also be friendships. Um, your jobs, which is hard because in this economy, like changing jobs right now, but whatever it is, it's a perfect time to release something that doesn't serve you. And especially if you have a choice around it, like people, yeah, in your relationships, yeah. And the relationships start with you. So if you're negative and talking to yourself in not the kindest way, that's where the change needs to start. Start with you first. If you wake up in the morning and the first thing you say is like, "Ugh, I can't believe how fat I am." No, we're not doing that anymore. Wake up and be like, "Oh my goodness, my body got up today. Thank God." Right? Or um I'm feeling slow today. But maybe that's just a call for me to take my time and notice things around me. It's just switching that mindset, but it's gotta come from you. Are you giving away your power? Are you allowing people to get under your skin? Yeah. That's kind of look at through it at that lens. And if and obviously habits are hard to break, so maybe write on a sticky note and leave it on the mirror for you. Um, Let me see. So, like I said, doing small personal rituals on the eclipse, or like I said, it's after the eclipse. However, that energy is still out, right? As for the next 3 months. So, how are we going to harness those energies? Maybe you just write down a list of things that no longer serve you, things you want to change, and each day or at the end of the week, beginning of the week, whatever you want to do, maybe on a Monday, which is a moon day. I got a whole episode on that too. You burn that shit, right? Um, I will stop self-criticizing myself every day. And then the next one is I will tell so and so that I don't know, I don't like the way they talk to me in this way in front of other people. Whatever it is, make a list and then maybe every Monday, which is a moon day, you can just tear that sheet of paper, roll it up, think about it, hold it, burn that shit in a very fireproof, safe dish, and just let the cooled ashes blow outside into the ethers and release it. Drink your water and then journal on it, draw on it, um, color in a coloring book, whatever, crochet, and allow that to release out, and you're bringing in your own peace. Let's see what else I have here. Ooh, trust that whatever is unfolding in your life is part of the natural cycles of your transformation. Like I said, no one likes like for shit to, well, maybe you do love chaos. But it's rough sometimes with that change, but it's for your highest good and your purpose. Instead of like, why is this happening to me? Kind of thing like, oh, this is always happening to me. I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. I can never find anybody. The dating pool is trash. Um, okay, is it happening to you or is it happening for you? Like I said, it has to start with you. I don't know why dating apps came into my head, so hopefully that resonates with somebody out there. Um, when we are looking for the truth of our essence, just be mindful of every area, okay? Um, your relationships, your prosperity, your health, the people around you, all those things. And you want to come to your full potential. That's the whole point. So if you're on the fence of something, why is that? Look into that. Lean into it. Lean into the uncomfy. You're okay. If you feel called to maybe put a hand on your chest and just take a deep breath in, exhale out. Maybe you need to scream it out. But there's a reason for these necessary changes. And of course, you're like, damn, Susie, well, these come in cycles. Like, that's a lot. Yeah. So you don't have to like list all of it. Maybe just think of one thing that you want to work on during this eclipse season, especially emotionally in the sign of Pisces. You know what I mean? It's just like the Mercury retrogrades. We know we have those 3 to 4 times a year. You know how to prepare for them now because I have an episode on that. But each retrograde comes with its own little flair because the different things are going on, one in your life and two in the stars. And yes, we can work with Mercury by offering a candle to Mercury or a crystal or whatever, just doing a little ritual, but also embracing like, okay, during this Mercury retrograde, I'm going to be mindful of how I speak to others or maybe how I think about myself. Am I being real self-critical in I don't know, in the start of the year, like what with my New Year's resolutions and I'm just like berating myself because I always fall off, things like that. Versus in the summer where it's like, I don't know, I know it's hot girl summer, but maybe I want to take time for myself instead of hitting the river with a bunch of people. And I'm going to reiterate that during this Mercury retrograde and make sure that I am firm on what I'm saying, whatever. Same thing goes with these eclipses. It all doesn't have to be done right this minute, right in this cycle. I mean, and that's hard for me to say because sometimes I get gung ho and I want to do all the things like right then and there. And at the very least, gorgeous soul, drink your water. Please hydrate. Please do it for me. Take a drink of water. Dress that shit up. Put some lemon in your water, some mint. You know what I did? I got those um ice ice molds. Words are hard. Those ice molds that are like a sphere, and I put some rose petals in there, and I want to say maybe lavender, and I put those, and it just looks fucking pretty, and it makes my water taste good, even like with like cucumber water, and it just adds a different like layer of drinking the water. Especially if you're going to be working in depth with something, especially if you're going to be going forward with, all right, I'm going to start XYZ. This is what I'm going to start doing. Let me light my own candle. Let me breathe. Let me grab my fancy ice that I made. And maybe that's the only time you use it. So that way it has like that significance, that boost that you need. So let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, so other things you can do. Here is other than just a little list. Taking a nice bath, giving yourself some time. If you don't like baths or don't have one, you can do the same thing in the shower. I would even buy maybe a favorite scent that you like, something that will calm you and ease you if you want to be mindful of emotions and to breathe. You could do the same even with your shampoo. but it's nice when you have a little scrub, a little body scrub or a little soap. The same thing when you step out, maybe a lotion, a scented lotion. As you're listening to this, I'm going to plug my Reiki services. Every first and every third Wednesday of each month, I am offering community Reiki services at a pretty good price in my opinion. This is open for anyone and everyone. And as you are listening to this, if you're listening to this literally the day after the eclipse, it's a Wednesday. So how freaking fitting is that you already know I host every first and third Wednesday of the month, and it just happened to be after the eclipse season. I lead you into guided Reiki meditation. You don't have to have your camera on. You're just listening to me. You can journal, you can do what you need, but I'm guiding you. So for tonight, Wednesday, September 18th, I'm clearing out any residual negative or stagnant energy. I am helping you call back your power. I am guiding you to see the messages you need to see from your higher self. I'm going to be doing the candle spell work. I'm going to pull a card for the collective and get you to where you need to get to. Some of you need to reground, refocus, center, release anxiety. Maybe you're like me and you don't cry often and you need a good cry. Whatever comes through, every individual is different. So, every first and third Wednesday of each month, I host Reiki. You can find the link in the show notes. You can also follow me on my socials on Instagram and TikTok. And ask me questions if you like. You can shoot me an email or hit my socials up. But we meet via Zoom at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So you just have to equate for your difference in time zone. And you just need to show up. Once you submit payment, you receive an email. So please make sure that, you check your emails and that if you're Cash Apping me or Venmoing me, that I have your email. Okay. And I help you transmute and really push that energy through. We do it together. Okay. And it's less intimidating. If you're catching this after, you could just book with me. You can book a tarot reading with me. Let's see where do we need to find I don't know, a a foundation where you're stable. Maybe even the Reiki session. I have a bundle package where we will do a tarot card pull into your Reiki session. Okay, so just hit me up. You can take the guesswork out of it. I got you. This is what I love doing. You could also do a cleanse. Perfect time for it. If you missed it, the eclipse, which is a good time for you just to cleanse out, take this negative fucking energy. Whether I brought it in or someone is throwing it at me, just take it. And I just want to bring in prosperity, abundance, and peace of happiness and calm. Um, but you can also do like an egg limpia or, get some salt scrub and just really kind of scrub your hands and really rinse off any of that nasty energy. Continue your self-care, continue to drink your water, be mindful of your emotions all throughout the rest of the year. And just to remind you, um, the holidays are coming up and we're all ready for witchy season, right? And some of y'all ready for Christmas, but for a large majority, that means being around a lot of people, a lot of family, a lot of friends, traveling, and the stress could be up there. So mixed in with this eclipse energy, yeah, just make sure you take a breath, okay? And I'm here for you. So please take advantage of the services that I offer. A big shout out to all of you out there. I love you with all my heart and soul. I love it when you DM me or you leave a comment on some episodes. Please, please, please keep doing it. Okay, I'm going to switch gears. As we're coming into spooky season, I want to hear from you. I want to hear your spooky stories, whether they've happened in the past, happened currently, happened to your brother's, I don't know, cousin twice removed, I don't know. So I want you to submit your spooky, scary stories. You can email me at susie'senchantedcrossroads at gmail.com. You can hit me up on my socials as well. Just please let me know if you want me to share your name or if you have a pseudonym or remain anonymous. Totally up to you. But I want to read your stories out loud, broadcast it out there. Let's get into spooky season. So, supernatural things, any ghost stories, or any stories that you were told as a kid, or maybe that you tell your kids now. I want to hear about it. Coming up next week, I have a beautiful special guest. We're going to be talking all about twin flames and karmic partners and cycles, the whole nine, y'all. So, please don't miss that episode. And if you are barely catching this podcast, hi, thank you for stopping in. So happy that you're here. All right, gorgeous souls, take care of yourselves out there. And until next time, I will see you at the crossroads.